So what's the title of this article?
Master on the Mound.
As a good reader, you automatically think strategically and actively to understand what you read. As a tutor, your challenge is to learn specific reading comprehension strategies to teach explicitly, one at a time, to your learner. By learning comprehension strategies, your learner will become aware of how to think in order to make meaning while reading. Skimming is a comprehension strategy that helps readers get to know a text without reading it thoroughly. Good readers skim texts automatically, but struggling readers must be explicitly taught the steps involved in skimming, such as reading the title, subtitles, and headings, looking at illustrations, reading the first and last sentence of each paragraph, looking for key words, and thinking about the text's meaning.
We're going to do another little practice that will sort of emphasize the reason we do skimming and how we do it. Okay. So, you told me that your neighbor was going away on vacation, and that they left you a note. I made a copy of that note from your neighbor. I'm going to say you have not much time to look at this note. So, let's say that the task is to take just a few little, just a little bit of time to decide, are you going to be able to do this activity before work, on the way to work, for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or should you take care of this and do your neighbor a favor after work? You need to skim this, okay? Again, not read every single word, but skim it and try to figure out how long it's going to take you and whether you want to do it before or after work. So can you skim that? You're going to tell me what jumps out at you and what helped you make that decision. Before work in 15 minutes or after work when you have more time?
Okay. I see maybe I could go before I go to work.
What's your neighbor asking you to do?
Play with a cat for 15 minutes, feed it, give them water.
Okay.
Basically what you do with animals, with dogs or cats.
So he's asking you to take care of his cat.
Yeah.
Okay, and come how often?
Maybe once a day.
How do you know it's once a day? Did you find?
The key word.
When you were skimming the key word, once a day,
Once a day, yeah.
Okay. Right there, once a day. And what are some of the things that you need to do when you're there?
Well, clean the litter box, play with the cat 15 minutes, feed it half a cup of their food and 1/4 of, I guess, their wet food, and give them fresh water.
How much time do you need to do this activity to take care of your neighbor's cat?
Well, probably more than 15 minutes, because if you got to play with a cat for 15 minutes, that's not enough time to do all this things that your neighbor wants you to do.
So are you going to do it on the way to work or after work?
I probably do it before.
Okay.
Because just in case I don't know how long I will work.
Okay.
And how long I will stay.
Okay. Okay. So better, but and you think this is going to take how long?
I'll say probably 30 minutes maybe.
Okay. So you have 30 minutes before you go to work to do this. Okay. So did it help you to just skim this and get an idea?
Yeah, it did.
Okay. So, and do you think that you'll have a good enough understanding just from skimming that this is a useful activity?
Yeah, I think for some people it would be good for them to skim if they're really busy.
So you made some really good points. So one is, if you're busy, you're in a hurry, you don't have time to sit down and read word for word, and it doesn't require reading word for word, then skimming's the way you want to be reading. So skimming is one way that we can understand a text, right? The purpose is different than if you're reading for deep meaning, but you're still reading for meaning. It's just a very sort of superficial level of meaning. So skimming is a comprehension strategy, and it's used for particular purposes. It's when you're in a hurry, you just want to get the general idea, you don't have a lot of time, you're a busy person, and you want to get the gist of what you're reading about. But so skimming, if you skim something, it helps you understand in a very sort of superficial way what you're reading.
You've just seen a learner and a tutor practicing skimming strategies to help the learner understand the gist of the text. You can use this strategy with a variety of texts for several different purposes, depending on your learner's interests and needs. The goal of practicing reading comprehension is for your learner to master and internalize more and more comprehension strategies to choose from and use in a variety of reading situations. You've seen a tutor do quite a bit of talking when explaining a new strategy. During most lessons, you and your learner would be equally talkative.